and Back Pain Relief Center, Scott M. Gray, D.C., across from the Marion Center between TSC and Kroger. For further information, dial 740-386-6580. Also located on the net at goodbackbadback.com. Marion Blue Racers football. Feel the heat, feel the excitement, the best fan experience going in Marion today. Perkins Family Restaurant and Bakery, located at 1197 Mount Vernon Avenue, right here in Marion. Open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Hey, stop into Perkins and take a look at the newly remodeled dining room. Perfect for that family get-together or that intimate get-together with friends. And hey, while you're there, check out the delicious items in the bakery. Perfect for all those Thanksgiving needs, as well as any pie, cookie, or muffin add-on to any meal. Also, check out the Get Crackin' and Biscuit Bake menus. Perkins Family Restaurant and Bakery, a family tradition in Marion for well over 30 years. From our family to yours. Hey, stop on by. Hey, Scott Spears along with you on the Tuesday edition of The Exchange. November the 1st. We are into November, Charlie. Can you smell the turkey wafting your way?
Is that what they do? I thought they walked. They waft.
They waddle.
Oh, well,
Waft,
yeah.
Waddle, walk, all W's.
You know, turkeys are an interesting thing. Sex-wise, if they see another, a female, a male sees a female, his waddle changes color from purple to red.
I've seen some gentlemen do that when they see the, woo, things change and go.
And if a turkey turns around, you don't want to look at them from the rear. They're not pretty at all. Neither is a peacock.
Well, now, why would I be looking at the rears of turkeys and peacocks, Charlie? I don't understand.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe you're in a race with them, and they got ahead of you, and you had to stare at the,
We're in a restaurant, Charlie. We're in a restaurant. You got to remember where you are.
Oh.
Stop.
Hey, I've known the Mastros here. All the boys and their late parents for years, since they were kids.
Madeline and Albert.
Yes.
Yes, the originators here for years. And I know Marianne has connections.
We were very good friends of theirs.
And they started out downtown, Pizzavilla, was it?
Yeah. Right, and I had Michael in school.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really, Marianne?
I'm giving away my age, aren't I?
Do you want to tell the year?
No.
No, just skip it. We'll move on. But we do want to let everybody know, if you didn't tune in yesterday, this is our start of 4 weeks at Perkins. Every Wednesday night from 5 to 8 p.m. we'll be here at Perkins Family Restaurant, broadcasting the exchange. Come in, get a great meal.
You're buying next week?
No, Charlie. You got deep pockets. you got that radio money built up over the years.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
My retirement.
Big money you've made over the years. But we'll be broadcasting 5 to 8 every Wednesday at Perkins. We'll have Dooley the Clown here. We'll have live entertainment, which today we have Ben Cornelius, who I've known for quite a while now. Great soloist, and he's brought along somebody with him. And they're going to perform during today's program and Friday's program. So there's all kinds of stuff going on here. The Blue Racers make their debut on the show tomorrow with the Blue Racer 30, the segment. We're going to have Lamonte Coleman, who is the owner, CEO of the Blue Racers. And we're going to have Lorenzo Stiles, who is with the Blue Racers and also a Super Bowl champion.
No kidding. Played with a Super Bowl team?
Super Bowl team.
Wow.
And I hear he's going to bring the ring. I can't make any promises, but I'd love to. I've never seen that.
It's a pretty big ring, isn't it?
Pretty big ring. Yeah, watch yourself, Charlie. We know how you do. But we're going to go on today to Charlie Evers with Fascinating Facts.
Well, since we are in the Halloween season, I thought I'd mention something else. I mentioned yesterday about the Pope that was Pope Boniface the Fourth, dedicated the Pantheon in Rome in honor of the Christian martyrs and the Catholic feast of All Martyrs' Day, which was established in the Western Church. Now, Pope Gregory later expanded the festival to include all the saints as well as all the martyrs and moved its observance to November the 1st. And so this is just beginning, not only the religious observance, but trying to get away from the really weird stuff. But so where are we now? Really weird. I mean, the weirder the better.
Charlie, I wish I could have paid attention to what you... But Marianne got Jimmy legs over here during that thing, and I didn't know what she was doing.
Oh.
I thought she was going for my wallet or something over here. I didn't know what were you doing, Marianne?
I'm trying to... I was being surreptitiously, but it didn't happen, I guess. But I was trying to get my chair closer to the table.
Oh, okay. No, I understand. I didn't know what you were doing. Things started to move around here. I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, I didn't know either. Right stuck here between
I hope I
Billy
wasn't
and
on
I.
camera, was I?
We got that on camera?
Oh,
No, we didn't get that.
Oh, you got a drop here, so...
Yeah, we got a little dropping over the front, so we don't know what was going on with Marianne. Marianne, though, I got a question because you were away on business yesterday. Dr. Scott Gray was in here, and he told us, gave us the big announcement, his wife is pregnant with their first child.
Oh, that's wonderful. Congratulations.
And I thought of all days not to have a woman on the panel because he also announced that they're going to do home birth with a midwife.
Wow.
Yeah. Now here's...
I mean, that is unusual.
Hey, we ought to go out there and have a party at that.
Maybe we can
Yeah,
tape
yeah,
the
make
show
it-
around that.
Make
That's
a big
really
thing out of it.
unusual.
Yeah. You can be, yeah, Dooley could just catch
Yeah.
it like a football on
Yeah.
the way out. And they're going to find out the sex. We got a lot of interesting information.
Oh, yes.
But I wanted to ask you, Marianne, because obviously we were all males yesterday on the show. What a day to have all males. You have a son, so at some, you were in that position.
Obviously.
Would you have, well, I mean, could have been adopted. I want to spread it, there are ways now that doesn't have to happen. But would you have ever dreamed of doing a home birth?
No, absolutely not.
Now, explain to the people, as tactfully as I know you will do, about the pain.
Oh, it's very painful.
Very
But
painful.
you know something? You forget it. I can't remember it. I really can't. Because, I mean, it's very painful, but it's over, and you've got a wonderful son or daughter, and you
Oh, I
forget it.
thought you were talking about a colostomy. Or, I mean,
We're in a restaurant, Charlie. We're going to have to cut his mic before the show's over with. Holy mackerel.
No, it is. It's painful, but you expect it to be, and I'll tell you what, I can handle pain. I've handled pain before. And it's...
Did you have drugs during this?
No, absolutely
None?
No.
No epidural or
No.
Painkillers?
No.
Or somebody with...
No, it was purely natural.
You did natural? How long did it take?
Oh, that's been so long ago. I can't remember that. I don't think it
I think
took
that'd be
very
something I'd
long.
remember.
I don't think it took very long.
Really?
Yeah.
Some people have births that go on for days. And I think at some point you would have to ask for the...
Well, but I guess I was very fortunate.
Yeah,
Because
well...
I didn't, and I had to,
I often think of the lady that
I
had...
had problems afterwards.
Yeah.
But
The year
See,
I was
that's-
born,
yeah.
some lady in Canada had the Dion quintuplets. They were born in 34.
Who are the Dion quintuplets?
Well, someday you'll read about it. It'd be hard to explain, but they were the rage.
so they were.
You wanna
it was
talk-
so
There were
unusual.
dolls and toys.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Dion quintuplets.
You want to
Yes.
talk about colostomies and turkey behind,
Mhm.
but you won't tell me about the Dion quintuplets.
Well, they were related to Celine Dion.
Were they?
Yeah, she's one of
Oh.
the tribe, yeah. And
I-
she's not one of the quintuplets,
No.
but they're all related, yeah.
D-I-O-N.
We once had a preacher in Marion that was related to them.
Really? What
Yeah.
was his name?
Dion.
Charlie. What was the gentleman's first name?
I don't remember. He was pastor of the church. They call it the Rooster Church up here on Church Street. Yeah. Has a rooster out in front of it. That's a German
And we
symbol.
don't know what the man's name was.
No.
But he was part of the Dion quintuplets.
Yeah, he was
Well, that's
related.
interesting. And
Yeah.
and that would have been 1930s.
34.
1934. That's very interesting. Now, I do want to get cracking today because we have a lot to talk about, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it yesterday, but this happened. I mean, you're talking about major news stories. You're talking about the end of the reign of Colonel Gaddafi, really stopped with a nail I mean that in hyperbole, but really a nail to the casket is what it turned out to be, as he was uncovered and killed pretty well. I mean, there you go. Charlie, obviously an evil, evil, evil man, no doubt about that. But when you heard of this, after all these months had passed, honestly, I thought he was gone. I thought he'd fled.
Oh. Well, he had so many tunnels. He got away for quite a long time. But I suppose his face will be the subject of Halloween masks next year.
Probably.
Yeah, he's the patron saint, you might say now, of Halloween. I mean, that gruesome death he had.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a second. But Marianne, when you heard that Gaddafi, once again, did you believe he was still there all these months later? I mean, I thought he had fled, much like the Egyptian leader.
No, I thought that he had too much. He planned for this, I'm sure. He planned when all of this uproar was happening. He had a plan how he was going to get away. But it wasn't successful, obviously.
But they gave him an attempt to flee back before NATO got involved. They gave him a chance, and they also, I mean, he had a chance when they attacked his palace. I mean, he wasn't there. I mean, he'd already fled. Why didn't he leave Libya altogether at that point? I mean, he had to know he was on the ropes.
Well, he said himself he would be a martyr. He didn't care if he would be a martyr. But I think he was so wrapped up in himself and thinking that nothing would ever happen to him, that it was impossible to think that somebody would kill him. I think that was his attitude.
Marianne, though, I think that saying, we talked about it a few weeks ago when we had the atheist from Columbus on. There are no atheists in foxholes. He might have believed that he would have been a martyr, and he might have believed all those things. But when the chips are down, those videos, he was surrendering. I mean, he didn't want to be killed.
No, he didn't. In fact, didn't he call out?
Oh, yeah, he said, I surrender, I
Yes,
surrender.
Right, and so you could say he was assassinated because that's
Oh, he
exactly
was.
what it was.
He was. And that's the point I want to get back to with Charlie, and I'm going to let Dooley in on this one. Boy, Charlie, you talked about the pictures there, and first of all, let's preface this whole thing. Evil, evil man did evil things to people. Certainly not a nice guy. World's better that he's gone. But should the media have shown those pictures? Some were very gruesome. Very gruesome. I mean, he was stripped pretty well nude. He was put on the hood of a truck and tied on there and driven around, bleeding the whole time. He was beaten up by these people. Should the media have shown that?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Really?
Oh, yeah, well, look what they show about Halloween. I mean, we can't be gruesome enough in Halloween.
But
of course, he was a live person.
It's not reality.
Well, whatever they did to him, he deserved every inch of it.
Oh, he deserved it.
Can you imagine how many lives, how many people he brutally killed, tortured?
He deserved it.
Listen.
He deserved it. But
The Lockerbie airline crash.
do you remember 9/11 when they just kept showing the plane hitting the building?
But they didn't show people jumping out of the windows.
That's right, because that's too gruesome.
Yeah.
But they showed this up close and personal in your face. A precedent was set with this Gaddafi thing.
Well, I think weren't those Libyans that did that?
To Gaddafi?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't our media because they usually
His
say
own people. It
Yeah,
was.
they usually do a disclaimer. If something is going to be terrible to look at, they will disclaim it and say, you may may not want to watch this. Or
And you know what that does? You're
They-
sure to watch.
You're sure to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this is the point, Marianne, of that's what I'm saying. At some point, that it was from Al Jazeera.
Yeah.
But at some point, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, all the nightly newscasts had the option to air that or not.
Yes, that's true.
And they said yes. I think that was the precedent. Saddam, when he was pulled out of the hole in Iraq, there were pictures that leaked later on of people putting their hand, but the networks didn't show all of that. This they showed all, and I'm not sure what the reasoning was. Do you think it was right?
I really haven't thought that much about it, Scott. So
It was a listener draw, a viewer draw.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
It was publicity. I mean, it wasn't going to make him any less dead or any
And
more beat up.
You can imagine the millions that said he got what he deserved.
He did get what he deserved.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I'm arguing the fact that he didn't get what he deserved. Dooley, what do you think?
I'm more in favor of privacy, but we are and then working it over, whatever it is.
That's another thing.
Over and over.
Started to go into a frenzy about that. I'm not sure.
And then over and over and over again.
Just like the escaped animals here last week.
Oh,
yes.
Lord. That
Couple
was
of
a
weeks
mess.
ago, yeah.
It filled up Jack Hanna's calendar for about
It
6
sure
months of
did.
things he has to do now. But the other thing about this Gaddafi thing that I wanted to talk about, because it was the other facet, not media-driven, but we're not supposed to, for as horrible as these people are, you're supposed to capture them if you can and try them. Give
Yeah,
them their
that's
day
true.
in court.
That's
That certainly didn't happen. And what really bothers me, once again, Gaddafi, horrible, horrible guy. Certainly don't feel pity for him. But should he have been tried, Charlie, and hung like Saddam was?
They don't try them like that in our...
Not in the
That-
least.
they're not
That's
in a democracy.
It's a different culture.
Oh, yes,
Totally different
yes.
culture. So that
No, wait a
I
second.
can
No.
understand that.
But there are courts, and he was going to be tried in the court of the United Nations, as Saddam Hussein was, and given his day, and to be convicted of his war crimes, and then they turned them back over to the people like they did in Iraq, which they did with Saddam, and he was hung. I'm not saying he deserved that at all, but I'm saying that's our rules, that's our standard. He didn't get that. And you know what? When he surrendered, that's also, if he was firing and was shot in the aftermath, okay, I could even see that. They tortured him. And not to say he didn't torture people, but that's, does that make us any better than the people when we do the same thing to them that they do to us? And this is not a United States, we didn't do it.
No, we
Libyans.
didn't do it. The Libyans did it.
Yeah.
So there's no way to argue that fact.
No, but I'm saying, should the Libyans have captured him, especially when he surrendered?
Well, I think that's what we would have done. But,
I hope so.
Yeah, but that's, like you said, a different culture.
Yeah, it is.
In Haiti, they'll take a policeman they don't like and throw a tire around his neck and set it on fire.
Oh, sure.
Burn him up right on the street while everybody watches. So, cultures. I was once in Panama, and there were two girls that I worked with along, and when we checked in at the hotel, which is Caesars Creek Marriott, where the ruler down there shot it up later on, they made these girls pay $100 extra for the room, and they were really mad because, hey, and so I was standing with them, and they said, why? I said, we know what you women are up to in those rooms, and so I gave them the extra money. And then that night they were complaining to a Greek resident when we ate, and the Greek said, ladies, just remember, you're in Panama, not the United States.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
There is a big difference. But when you get assistance, I guess I'm saying from NATO, when you get assistance, and the convoy that was bombed, that exposed Gaddafi, was a NATO bombing. Obviously, as I've said before, I don't think he was a nice man, and I think we're better off that he's gone. But, if Saddam Hussein got a fair day in court, this whole idea of stringing him up on the foot of a truck and dragging him around seemed a little... And I think if we wouldn't have shown it, we'd have been okay, too. If we'd have just said Colonel Gaddafi was killed, and here's the thing, and there you go. I mean,
That happened to one of our soldiers. They tied him to a truck in...
and how angry
and-
do we get about that?
well, yeah, that was one of our men. Gaddafi wasn't one of ours.
Oh, certainly not.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I think he should have been tried because I would have loved to have seen what he said, because I really believe he was one of the madmen of the world.
No, there's no doubt about it.
Some, as I said last week, Saddam Hussein, the Egyptian leader, I can't remember his name. Mubarak. Those guys, they have delusions of grandeur. They are dictators, but I believe deep down they were logical. Saddam Hussein had a point of view in court. Mubarak got the heck out when he knew that he had no chance of staying. This Gaddafi, I think if he would have went to a psychiatrist, he was nuts.
He probably killed the psychiatrist.
Well, do you remember his speeches when he came to the United Nations? He thought we were friends with him. And he spoke and everybody walked out. He was on Larry King. He talked a lot of nonsense. I believe he was legitimately crazy.
We made a deal. We made a deal with Gaddafi. The man that was that bombed the airliner. He was, of course, captured, and we sent him back to Libya. on the provision that if we did that, Gaddafi would give us oil or let us have oil.
Well, see, then again, Charlie, then you got to look at, and boy, with 5 minutes left in this episode, then the question becomes, he was our friend then. He was our friend.
Well, he was someone we dealt with.
So I guess we're okay to...
Not necessarily a friend.
Well, is that right, though? Is it okay to deal with terrible, horrible
If
people?
you want oil, you'll do most anything.
And that's right. There you go, Charlie. Absolutely. Dooley, wrap us up on this subject.
Oh, my goodness. How do you wrap this one up?
Should he have been tried in court?
According to our culture, of course, but not in theirs.
And there you go.
Besides, we had to have some proof.
Yeah, we absolutely
We still
did.
wonder if there's proof on the other guy being killed.
I don't. That's a deep conversation. I don't lose any sleep over Gaddafi being gone, but I wish he would have been, because I don't think he would have been treated well in prison either. Just wasn't a nice guy. With 5 minutes left, we have another live performance here, as we are coming from Perkins this week. Spice it up a little bit from a good friend of mine, Ben Cornelius. He's brought somebody along with him. I want Ben to say the name of the group and the type of songs they perform, and then go into an original number that they've brought in especially for the exchange today. Ben, go ahead.
Yes, this is my associate, Corey Brown. Today we're the keynote speakers, and the song we're going to perform for you is called A Long Way to Go. So without any further ado, 1, 2. We've come a long way, so it seems. We've crossed the road somewhere between greens. Through movie screens, we play out like scenes. We've got a long way to go. We've climbed the mountain to its peak, remaining conscious with no heat. Thousands of miles put on my feet. We've got a long way to go, and I got no money anymore. Got no time to afford. I'm just a tramp on the highway, crossing your byway, looking for more. And I don't think I'm gonna find what I've been looking for. Away, remain conscious all the way. Too late to get on my knees to pray. We've got a long way to go, and I got no money anymore. I got no time to afford. I'm just a tramp on your highway, crossing the byway, looking for more. And I don't think I'm gonna find what I've been looking for. Don't think I'm gonna find what I've been looking for.
Hey, very nice. Thank you, Ben. And Ben will be back along with his associate, as he said, with the keynote speakers on Friday's episode of The Exchange, so don't go anywhere. Blue Racers 30, first segment with the Marianne Blue Racers, comes up tomorrow. Marianne, send us out today with the words of wisdom.
Oh, all right. Anise Nin is a French novelist and a poet, and this is what she says about risking. Risk nothing, risk everything. But she says this, and the day came when the risk to remain in a tight bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. So you have to take risks in life. I might have said that before. I might have used that words of wisdom before, but I like that.
It was good the second time around, too, Marianne. We'll be back with the Blue Racer 30 tomorrow. See you later.